All right, so previously I spoke on the new Jordan 3 RM, a brand new model, which is set to debut coming up this holiday 2025. Now, of course, I know there's not going to be for everybody, but what I do appreciate with that model is Jordan Brand, at least they're bringing something new to the table. Now, as far as this next pair right here, I don't see not one single person complaining about these, as we got breaking news. It looks like another Jordan Classic OG is set to make its return. So you're watching John Alexander TV. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we got the OG Classic Jordan 13 He Got Game set to make a return coming up spring 2026 according to Z Sneakerheads. Now, before we jump into this, let me ask you guys, is it too early for 2026 Jordan Brand leaks? When it comes to a pair like this, I feel like nobody's really concerned. We already know what these look like. Originally debuted back in 97, 98, I want to say, and then later on they picked up the nickname He Got Game, which of course comes from the iconic Ray Allen, Denzel Washington, Spike Lee directed film. Now, if you guys haven't seen He Got Game, kids, we got a little homework lesson for you guys. Make sure you watch this iconic movie right here. But of course, today's video is not about the movie, but rather these sneakers, which the last time we saw these make a return was 2018. So I feel like it's definitely overdue for this Jordan Brand Classic to make a return. Now, originally, you know, I remember when these joints originally dropped back in the day, when I thought about Jordan 13s, I did want to just come out the gate and say that this pair right here, the first one, would be my favorite. But when we actually take a look back here at the Jordan 13 lineup, which has dropped throughout the years, we're not going to talk about the retros, but more so the OGs. It was kind of tough saying that them He Got Games are my favorite because, of course, we got the playoff joints, a good classic OG. Here's the He Got Games. We also have the Chicago, which I think we nicknamed the Cherry. I don't know if the Chicago or Cherry name came first, but it's tough, man, because I remember just so many great memories of seeing people rocking those. MJ rocking those back in the day with his Black Bulls jersey, man. Them joints went crazy. Of course, you got the Flints, which another great OG. And then, of course, you got the Breads. Like, I have a tough time picking my favorite, but I guess we could stick with the classic OG, the one where it started it off. The He Got Games right here. These are just so beautiful, featuring the Chicago Bulls colorways, bro. I just remember MJ rocking these back in the day as a kid, and definitely remember picking up my pair when they retroed. I think it was like 2012, 2013 or something like that. But actually my first pair of 13s were the playoffs, which I did get that retro back in the day. The He Got Games. So for me, in like my whole lineup of Jordans over the years, I only actually had two pairs throughout. Oh, my bad. And of course, I did have the Flints as well. So 3 pairs of 13s, but some great classic ones. I remember my boy having these Breads, the ones that had like the 3M reflective on them. I don't know if each iteration throughout the years had the 3M, but I just remember that being like a real cool detail. I don't know if the OGs actually had the 3M on there or not, but just so many great, you know, memories of the 13s throughout the year. So you gotta love it. I'm excited to see this one come back. As far as like people rocking 13s, I don't think that we have too many set to come out this year, maybe like a couple pairs or something like that. Not any OGs that I know of. So for 2026, maybe we'll see a whole bunch of 13s returning. Maybe not just the OGs, but maybe we'll see some other pairs returning. So let me know if you guys want to see any other Jordan 13s returning. What are your memories of the He Got Games? Did you have the OGs, or did you grab any of the retro re-releases that dropped throughout the years? Now, another 2026 news, we do know that apparently these Bread 85 Royals are supposed to drop in 2026. So we got those. We got the He Got Games, 2 classic OGs set to return here for 2026. So it'll be interesting to see what the lineup looks like. But remember, guys, it's only January, so we got the whole year to get through. We got so many great releases. But 2026, Jordan Brand, they're going to keep that momentum going. Now, in other Jordan Brand news, Complex, you know, of course, one of the biggest media outlets here in the sneaker space, they recently just put together a list of the top 15 Jordan Retro 4s of all time. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of run through the list. It'll also be a nice little walk down memory lane, as, you know, I have very fond memories of a lot of great Jordan 4s releasing throughout the years. So let's see what Complex is talking about here. As you guys see right here to kick off the list, the first pair they got up here, the Jordan 4 Levi's collaboration, which I remember when these joints dropped back in the day, these, when I first saw them, I was like, nah, these ain't it. But now when we take a look at these here in 2025, this reminds me of like a custom that we would see like one of these people, these like cool creative people doing. So I feel like this is one that has aged well. It may not be something that people are going to typically rock every day, but as like an art piece or maybe from like a collector's point of view, definitely a cool one. Interesting to see that this one actually made the list. This is not one that I expected to see on the list, but I'm definitely curious to see what they got coming in at number 1. Now, at number 14, we got the Jordan 4 Lightning, which when these originally dropped, I remember I was working at Champ Sports back in the day. This was a exclusive drop, which I don't think they even dropped in stores. And on top of it, to make it even more rare, they dropped it with like this t-shirt for like $200 plus. At the time, Jordan 4s were only retailing for like $115. So that was a bold move by Jordan Brand. And this was a release that a lot of people were going crazy for. So Jordan 4 Lightnings, they did re-release some, you know, again, years later down the line. Now, at number 13, interesting to see this one so low here on the list. We got the OG Jordan 4 Military Blue, which I definitely remember grabbing the pair back in, I think it was like 2005, 2006 when they dropped. There was really no hype. They were kind of like bricks sitting back in the day. So I remember I was able to just get those like months after they released with no pressure. We saw Jordan Brand continue to re-release this Jordan Brand classic throughout the years. We even got the Military Blue, or Industrial Blue is I think what they called them last year, with the good Nike Air on the back. So that's a cool one. Now at number 12, we got the Union Jordan 4, which for this one, I know a lot of people probably love this sneaker right here, but I'm gonna just have to say that these have aged poorly. Originally dropping back in 2020, I feel like this one was so hyped because in 2020, Jordan 4s were going crazy. They were coming off the hype of the Jordan 1 Union collaboration. So I feel like this one maybe had a little unnecessary hype surrounding it. And looking at it now back here, I feel like it hasn't really aged too well. But as I always like to say, if you guys like them, I love them. Now coming in at number 11, this one here is crazy. We got the Travis Scott Jordan 4, which this is the one which really kind of set off this Travis Scott retro wave. This was the very first Travis Scott Jordan retro that we saw released back in 2018. This one's kind of cool because it's based off the Houston Oilers colorways, Travis Scott's hometown of Houston. And then with this release, it kind of went under the radar when it originally dropped, but then like skyrocketed like crazy in resale value. And now is a definitely coveted collectible item. Now at number 10, we got the SB Jordan 4, the Pine Green colorway. This one was on a lot of people's sneaker of the year list in 2023. A great pair, still looks good to this day. You gotta love the gum bottom. Plus they kind of redefined the shape with this SB Jordan 4 collab. This one's iconic, I would say, and definitely is one that's gonna go down in the record books. And we got a new navy pair, I guess, which is gonna drop this year. Now at number 9, they got the Off-White Jordan 4, which was a woman's exclusive drop. You gotta love the sail colorway. Virgil, he did his thing on this one. This was a pair which you saw on everybody's feet, whether they were real or fake that year. So just a great release, one that's going to be iconic that we look back on here in the future. Now coming in at number 8, the Jordan 4 Black Laser. Some of y'all weren't even outside when these joints originally dropped. These ones came out, I had to check, 2005 actually. So this is like when Jordan Brand first started to like massively, you know, retro a lot of sneakers. I first started to get into like Jordan retros like around 2006. So I missed out on this pair, but this is always one that I look back on. It was really crazy. And just to me, when people used to say the word grail, this was one that I always looked at as like a grail, something I never thought I would be able to get my hands on, but just a great drop from back in that time. Now we got the Jordan 4 Dornbecker. This one based off Superman with the little Superman emblem on them. This is like one of super rare grail Jordan Dornbeckers. You guys already know what time it is with this one. I don't got to say too much about this pair. Now at number 6, we have the Cars Jordan 4, which this Jordan dropped in 2017. Originally, I used to, you know, give the Cars collaboration a hard time. Felt like it was a little bit overrated. I never really got into cars myself personally, but looking at this image right here, I do notice that the materials are very plush. So interesting take on the Jordan 4. I do see like the more premium material. So I feel like it's kind of cool. Maybe I should stop hating on that one, but just with the resale value and everything, I just always felt like it was overrated. Now coming in at number 5, we got the Jordan 4 Black Cat, which is an interesting one because I remember my boy had a pair back when they dropped in like 2006, something like that. That was an under radar sneaker back then, but then for some reason after the re-release in 2020, like for some reason these just like became extremely hype and everything. But great sneaker nonetheless. I feel like this is one of them shoes that maybe we underappreciated, but now everybody loves these, and we're gonna see them coming back this year as well. And then we got the Jordan 4 Fire Red here at number 4. Out of the OG Jordan 4s, I would say this one, while it's still a great shoe, you know what I'm saying, it's probably the worst just because the other Jordan 4s are just that much better, but this is still a great sneaker right here. We got the Nigel pair supposed to be coming out here at number 3. We got the undefeated Jordan 4s. For me, these are beautiful. I never really was hip to like the collaboration story behind them and everything like that. But now that we have the re-release coming back, you gotta love it. You gotta appreciate the storytelling. And this is just a great sneaker inspired by the bomber jacket. You gotta love it. And then at number 2, we got the white cement. That's crazy. So if these are at number 2, then you guys already know number 1 has gotta be the Breads. Yep. So I could see it. I mean, you could pretty much mix match those at any time. Like, I don't know if anyone's gonna really pick the Bread over the white cements. I think it's more so personal preference, but you gotta love them. 2 of the best iconic OG Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I own both of those pairs back in the day. Gotta love the fact that we got the white cements dropping, and the reimagined Bread 4s made a huge impact when they dropped last year. So kind of interesting to see that the reimagined pair did not make the list, but I feel like putting the Breads at number 1, solid choice. So nice list from Complex. It was cool to kind of see, you know, some surprise pairs pop up here, like the Levi's pair and everything like that. But yeah, man, a lot of great Jordan 4s have dropped throughout the years. Just for me personally, I would probably take the Union pair out of here, substitute them for something else, maybe like throwing that reimagined pair or something like that. But let me know what you guys think about the list. I think Complex did a pretty solid job though with it. So drop your feedback down below. Enough rambling. I'm J.A. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out. Salute.